How does it feel to know that average people, especially those of small stature, only exist for the elite to compare themselves to so they can feel superior? We might see the lives of traditional, conventional Hollywood celebrities and feel a sense of comfort knowing that 99.999% of people have no hope of achieving that status. We might feel a degree of separation that allows us to see them as more than just human and not compare ourselves. But with micro-celebrities, wealthy lifestyle influencers, and towering college athletes, that distance starts to close. And when it comes to regular people you know who might just have more money and a better life than you at the same age, it becomes even easier to compare ourselves and feel inadequate. Let's look at some examples of what I'm talking about.
The micro-influencers that I'm about to show you have something in common that sets them apart from other celebrities like YouTubers, musicians, actors, etc. Now let's see if you can spot what that difference is. First up, we got Hackmann. She's tan, 6'5", and boy does she make me feel hot and bothered. She's basically famous for being born rich. Her dad's a famous cancer surgeon. She travels the world, he buys her everything she wants, and man, look at that life of privilege and luxury. That is hot. And of course she drives a Tesla since she was like 19, and I know that because I've seen it on TikTok. Taller than you since 1996. UC Berkeley alum. And of course, she runs her own marketing agency. There she is, marrying a tall Chad, of course. Look at those clothes. This is such a lavish, opulent life. Oh my. And of course, she travels the world, wears the finest clothes. Her parents are helping her become a model, of course. And look at that jewelry. Oh, I bet you that cost tens of thousands. Traveling the world, getting her face done. This is just so extravagant. It just goes on and on and on. There she is, traveling in the Mediterranean. Has a private booth that I bet cost a ton of money at some resort. And feeding her all kinds of gourmet food. Here she is with a Prada Milano bag and golden jewelry on her private spot. And here she is eating that perfect farm-to-table food with her golden necklace and perfect body. Oh man, she has a life of privilege that you could only dream of. Has an amazingly fit body. Next up, we got Stephanie Soares. Born in the year 2000, she's 6'6" and a basketball player. She just towers over everyone with that tan, muscular build. Look at that, 1,700 likes. Her parents both were basketball players, and that basically means that they're rich and went to the finest schools. She's got 15K followers. She is absolutely gorgeous, and as you go further down, she's a lot like Hackmann, traveling the world, but she's an athlete and very, very powerful. She grew up on a beautiful farm, getting farm-to-table food, all organic, all the best ingredients and all the right nutrients. Pretty much most of these tall girls grew up on ranches like this and getting their own milk and eggs so they can grow big and strong, unlike the stunted runts in the lower classes who eat processed food every day of their life. They're from Washington, grow up in a rural area, and of course, here's her Chad brother getting married. I mean, if she's in heels standing next to him, he's probably like 7'2". I mean, he's like what most women consider a towering god of a man. Just like pretty much most rich people, they get to be wealthy and tall because they kind of go together like bread and butter. There she is, towering over everyone, making them look like peasants, and going to some extravagant cabin, going on vacation after vacation, all the way down to her teen years. Next up is Carolyn Moos. She's 6'5", but I know she's 6'6". She's another towering blonde. She was a show horse jumper when she was a girl, which pretty much means her parents were rich because you don't see much inner city kids going around riding horses around the countryside. Of course, she has advanced degrees from Stanford and founded her own company. She travels the world, goes to networking events, meets a lot of very important people. And as you can see here, oh my, she has those broad shoulders, a six-pack. I mean, these kinds of women have the body that only like a dominant alpha male usually can get. I mean, they must have a lot of testosterone, but that helps their families to dominate the world, I guess, because they just tower over everyone. Here she is, towering over an important man and overshadowing him, literally. And here she is meeting politicians, More politicians. She's a very influential socialite. Here she is with powerful, dynamic, thought-provoking dialogue and topics, towering over all her lessers with her tall Chad boyfriend, of course. Now let's try listening to her speak and see if you can feel the same aura of superiority that I do.
Here I am at the Dallas Disrupt and looking forward to all the panelists, including entrepreneurs, innovation, technology, marketing, sales, artificial intelligence, which is optimizing the efficiency, especially in the fitness and health space, and sports, which I'm very much interested in.
Oh, her deep, commanding voice. It's so intimidating and powerful. It's got this air of prestige and authority. It shows us who's boss as she looks down on all the peasants from above.
So, looking forward to all the topics that are to be covered and the joint collaboration as correlated to additional new ideas on disruption and optimizing efficiency. That is particularly contextually of interest for me.
You can tell she's more educated and intelligent than 99.9% of the population, and she wants you to know it. Our final lady of leisure is Brynn Wade. 6'2", 1.2 million TikTok followers, and she grew up on a lavish ranch with her wealthy, high-status landowning family. They fed her all organic her whole life, all the best farm-to-table food. There she is kissing up to Chad. He must be 7'2", considering her height. She had all the best of the best, grew up big and strong. There she is with her $80,000 brand new truck that her parents probably got her. She reminds me of a lot of women I know. She's very muscular. She was an athlete, and I can just imagine her broad, powerful shoulders as she looks down on me from above, looking up at her. That would be intimidating and beautiful at the same time. These women are just pure symbols of wealth and status. You think that's all the examples I've got? No, that was only a taste. I have so much more evidence for us to go over, but we'll have to save that for future videos. So, did you guess what they had in common? I'd be surprised if you didn't. It was pretty easy. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Now, you might be thinking, but Chadlet, those are almost all women, and you'd be right. But why should we hold ourselves to a different standard than women? Don't we all deserve an equal shot at life, regardless of gender? Regardless, I do have an example of a man who gets paid 6 figures to travel the world in one long continuous party. World of t-shirts.
I'm just trying to party, I live paycheck to paycheck. I've only been to 7 countries. It's so sad.
Nothing to make you feel worse than an alcoholic in his early 20s flexing on everyone who worked hard and went into debt for college.
I only make $4,000 a month. I live paycheck to paycheck. I make 120K a year. Do I make 250K a year?
I think you can say you make about half.
I don't know.
Because you believe it when you feel it.
Not cool, bro. That said, if there's one place where any man can find success, it's in the field of content creation and live streaming. Even Lolcows can monetize their fame into a better life than an average wage slave could ever dream of, without hardly even having to work. And height plays little in this role, making it a great opportunity to even out the disadvantages short guys face in their careers. However, success on video platforms, especially TikTok, is like a slot machine. You can know all the best techniques, post for years, and never get anywhere. And then watch some random kid get 50K followers in his first month on TikTok using a mediocre hashtag strategy and low quality content. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. So knowing how much it hurts to feel mogged by other people on social media, it's important that we recognize that if we do achieve success, that we don't rub it in people's faces. And also, don't fake it either. This is why I'm authentic with my Instagram account. I'm open with all the good and all the bad. Some people do judge me for it, but overall, I've gotten a mostly positive reaction. One person called me a manipulative narcissist who is trying to farm pity for engagement and views. It's an offensive accusation.
Subscribe for more content, and check out my previous video about how I stopped caring about losing my virginity and why I just stopped trying altogether, and how liberating that is.